Hey friend, Brandon here, and today we have not just one iPhone to unbox, but two. We have both the iPhone 12 mini and Pro Max to unbox, so let's check it out, because this is Tech Today. All right, so I actually don't know which one is which. I would imagine maybe this one feels a little bit heavier. This might be the Max one, but I'm probably most interested in the mini. I think small phones are in, but I'd like to know what you think of before I unbox this, so leave a comment down below, and then we'll see how that changes at the end of the video. All right, let's try this one first. I think this is the big one, the big boy. Oh yeah, that's the big one. Oh gosh. So I'm not really the type of person that would go for a gold phone. It seems a bit much for me, but what I've seen so far, especially on Max Weinbeck's Twitter, is that the gold is not too flashy. All right, time for some peels. And if you know what's going on, you should probably put on some headphones or some earbuds because we're going to ASMR. It's like I have a channel for that. One being the worst, 5 being the best. Comments, you know. Oh, it does look real good. Not bad, but look at that. Not gonna lie, it looks really good. It's more of like a cream color to the glass back with a really nice, truly gold looking rim to it in a really classy way. And as you've probably heard from a number of people, fingerprints are just kind of gnarly. They just get pretty disgusting real fast. This is only a few seconds out of the box and it looks pretty rough already. So in terms of size, we have the S20 Ultra and the Note 20 Ultra. I'm gonna take them out of these Dbrand grip cases. So if we're gonna put them side by side, you can see they're pretty close in terms of size. The iPhone 12 Pro Max is a little bit wider, and I actually don't like that. I think if you're gonna have a really big phone, it needs to be a little bit narrower, so it's like easier to hold and navigate, and I'm okay with it being a little bit taller. So this kind of blends some of the worst parts of all of it. Yeah, you can see it's shorter, wider, and shorter, but wider. It feels a bit chunky. And the curves on the S20 Ultra and even on the Note 20 Ultra, yeah, actually the Note 20 Ultra feels really thin in comparison. It makes it feel like less of a hefty thing to hold. So when you combine all those factors, it does feel a little bit overwhelming. In the hand, it actually is not adding any sort of bevel like the old iPhones used to be that had that flat edge. It's almost a fourth of the size of an iPad Air 4. So let's turn this on and then we'll start unboxing the iPhone 12 mini. Also, don't worry about the address. That's public. Because it's public, you can send anything that you want there. Maybe products that you want me to check out if you're a business, some gifts, love letters, whatever. I forgot that I went with the red one. I thought I got the white one, but still pretty cool. We're not gonna do a Jeremy Junkins peel, so we're gonna kind of milk this for all it's worth. Put on your headphones. Bye. Oh wow, it feels so nice. It is a really great size. The red is actually really quite nice looking. I do like the matte finish on the rails a bit more than what you would see on this, where it has that stainless steel. Obviously though, the gold color looks better when it's shiny rather than matte finish. This one we have to compare next to smaller phones. So we have both the Pixel 5, the Pixel 4a, and then of course the iPhone SE 2020. And oh my gosh, it's smaller than that one. I was not expecting it. Oh, I'm matching. So this one, the SE 2020, is really, really red. While this one kind of has more of a kind of soft, creamy look to the red. I actually kind of like it. It looks kind of fun and youthful, but look at how small it is. I can't believe it's actually smaller. Now, to be fair, the battery life hasn't been all that great on this one. The battery on this is not much bigger, so I'm a little bit worried about that. And that's that's definitely something to consider. After I've used something like the Pixel 5, which can get me through 2 days or at least a day and a half, when you go to an iPhone, like an iPhone 12, I return that one because of battery life. I'm concerned about the battery life on this one. Battery life's not great at this. And the iPhone 12 Pro hasn't had really great reviews in terms of battery life either. It can kind of get you through the day, but you probably need to charge it. And that leaves the iPhone 12 Pro Max, which is probably the only one that has decent battery life, but it's huge. Then you're kind of stuck with either a big phone or a phone that has really bad battery life. That puts people in a really complicated position, and I would honestly suggest maybe skipping this year altogether, unless you want something like this. We'll have to find out though. I have to use it a bit more to really know for sure. I do like that this small form factor does have Face ID. The Pixel 5 is about the same size as an iPhone 12 and 12 Pro. It does have a little bit more of a narrow kind of body frame to it, so you can see the difference between the two. So one of the things that you have to think about with the iPhone 12 mini and the iPhone 12 Pro Max is not only the size of it, but the cost difference and what you get out of it. If this pretty much covers 80% of what this phone offers you, is it really worth that price difference? So what's really interesting is what the 12 mini offers at that $700 price point and what the Pixel 5 offers at the same price point. I'm really curious about that. If you're interested in the comparison between these two, probably more so than what you would have between a iPhone 12, like a normal size one, and the Pixel 5, let me know. Leave some comments down below. Or if you want to find out what I think about the iPhone 12, the Pixel 5, and the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE, I have a video about it that helps you walk through things that might be a consideration for you and what would work best for you. So while we wait for this all to update and install, we gotta talk about channel sponsor Dbrand and their incredible skins that help you customize the look of your device and protect it from those ugly fingerprints that are all over these phones, and their grip cases that allow you to not only customize your phone, but protect your phone from drops. The cases, they work with MagSafe. And there's even a Dbrand skin for your MagSafe charger if you want that too. And they're tempered glass screen protectors that really help with these phones. If you want a Dbrand skin, grip case, or tempered glass screen protector, there's a link down below in the description. Already, I have a weird little bug with the 12 mini. Like it's having an identity crisis with the screen because it's bigger than what I can actually operate. I can't even swipe up, can't even turn it off. I've already accidentally called 911. How do I turn it off? No. Oh, sorry, I accidentally called this. My phone's acting up. There's no emergency. Yeah, I'm okay. Not great. So I've been installing different apps and things like that, and also using the camera quite a bit. And I'll have to say that the 12 Pro Max is already feeling quite warm. And we're getting about 110 degrees Fahrenheit up there. Yep, it's getting even hotter, so we're at 112. Keep in mind, when you're using the camera, probably gonna make it heat up quite a bit. That's probably because it's doing a lot. I mean, I have to admit, there's some pretty insane stuff happening with the camera, but if you're holding it right here, it's gonna get a bit toasty. Now, what's interesting is, even though I'm running the camera on the Mini and installing a ton of apps, it doesn't feel as hot to me. And the images and video looks pretty dang good, unless you're trying to go for that telephoto kind of look, of course. Okay, so we have the Mini in my left hand, and then the Max in my right hand. Will go from 1x out to 0.5 on both. That's the difference between the two. We have some very bright light up there. We'll see how much it's blowing out things. 2.5x on both. So the Mini is using a digital zoom for this. What does the image quality look like? Let's tap on this very bright screen, 3x. And how well does the Mini keep up? I can definitely tell the Max is better. And one thing that I notice about the camera is that it doesn't transition between each lens in a smooth manner anymore. Like, what is that? First of all, the colors look way different and bad. And then it's all choppy and stuff. What is going on? You used to be able to go between each lens and it was smooth. And it's all choppy. What is going on? So while I'm really inspired by a lot of the commercials for the 12 Pro Max and being able to create things with it, which is really cool, and it's really cool to have all these different tools to help you with that, I also don't know how often I would do something like that. I'd much rather use my actual camera. And for most things where I would want to use my iPhone because of convenience, I'd probably want to have the 12 mini. It does most of the things that you would see on the 12 Pro Max. So while it may be small, it's quite mighty. Plus you got to do the whole pocket check. I mean, it just barely fits in my dude pants. This would never work in women's pants. So you sit down, oh yeah. See, you get that whole thing where you sit down with the phone in your pocket and now it's like jutting into like, into your hip and stuff. This, on the other hand, it's quite nice. I don't really care to have my phone just begging for my attention all the time. Maybe this is the only device that you have, and that makes sense. Maybe you don't have an iPad, maybe you don't have a laptop. Totally makes sense why you'd want to have all of your stuff in one big phone. But for those of us who do have an iPad or a laptop or anything like that, probably are not going to use your phone for everything. You just want to have something that gets the main things done, like text messages, phone calls, video calls, email, social media. And this is nice because you just put it into your pocket, sit down, you don't notice it's there, and then just be present. Now, I know a lot of you go to me for things about the speaker and the audio quality because I'm an audio engineer. So let's check that out. I'm really interested to see how much better the 12 Pro Max is from the 12 mini. So let's start with the mini. Kind of averaging at about 85 or 86 decibels on this particular song. Surprisingly, there's some low end on this little phone, and I was not expecting that. This is coming in at about 4 to 5 decibels louder on this particular song, so not dramatically louder, but a little bit noticeable. The 12 Pro Max is definitely way fuller. There's a little bit more low end there, and just because it's so much wider, you have a wider stereo spread, and it feels more immersive because of that. The combination of not being as loud, not being as full and immersive, a little bit harsher high end, and not as much of a full low end, it definitely means that the 12 Pro Max sounds noticeably better as a whole. But make no mistake, for a tiny phone like this, it does a really good job. So while this is an initial impression and I'm leaning towards the 12 mini, I'm gonna give a little bit more time with the Pro Max as my main phone for a little bit. I might change my mind, but for now, 12 mini is a go. As I said in my iPhone 12 review though, the difference between iPhones is not dramatic. I was actually using the SE 2020 for my main phone for the past week or so, just as a kind of fill-in before these phones came in, and I was perfectly content and fine with this one. It wasn't so bad at all, other than the fact that I don't really like having all these bezels here, and I miss Face ID. So Apple's phones really last for a long time. They're really quite high quality and are really snappy, smooth, so you're not gonna have a dramatic difference between every single model. What I have generally told people as a whole is skip the 12 series altogether, wait for the 13 series. Hopefully the battery life is better and you have more of a difference or benefit on the Pro models, like ProMotion or 120 Hertz on the display. That's something that's present in terms of the hardware that's here on the 12 Pro and Pro Max, but in terms of battery life, it just wasn't a good trade-off. They decided to go with 5G instead, which makes total sense. That's part of the industry, easier to advertise, it's marketing, it's just the thing. But those are my thoughts. What do you think? Go ahead and leave some comments down below and in the This Is Tech Today community Discord chat server. I'd love to hear from you. If you'd like to pick up any of the iPhones, check out any of the other videos that I have on iPhones or even on some Pixel devices, or pick up some Dbrand skins or grip cases, there's some links down below in the description. Thanks so much for watching This Is Tech Today, where we talk about the intersection of technology in our everyday lives, in business, and in all things creative. Until next time.